Every person has a space. They've got a space where they feel comfortable. They've got a space where they are fully engaged. It can be hanging out with your best friend, listening to your favorite music, or doing what you absolutely love doing. In the workplace, we call that workflow. It is where an employee is really engaged in their work, where they really find passion in their work, where they look up to the clock and it's already 3 hours past, where they've really been creative. And my absolute joy is to help organizations create that for their employees and help individuals in organizations to find that space, to find their workflow. My experience is that when you share that space with other people, when 2 or 3 people come together and they share their workflow, that is where the magic usually happens. That is where creativity takes place. That is where collaboration takes place. And that is where problems that are complex and difficult to navigate through usually get solved. I love creating that space. I love helping organizations to establish that space for their employees and really make the workplace a really good place to go to work to, and employees to actually want to work for their organizations. That gives me a lot of joy in what I do every day. If you think about it, there are 8 hours in a day where you engage in work. And if that 8 hours doesn't give you a little bit of joy and give you a space where you can really live out your passion, it's going to become increasingly difficult to maintain your performance. So what industrial psychology really is about looking at an organization from an external perspective and identifying the elements in that space that will create a happy environment for an employee to flourish in. If I have to say what I'm good at, I think it is potentially 2 things that I enjoy and where I find a lot of energy and where I can really showcase my skills. The one area is to take content that is difficult to process, that is potentially boring sometimes, that is overwhelming to clients, and to break that content down into digestible little bits of pieces. To help organizations digest that content in a way that they can actually use it to make decisions for themselves. I also think that I show up at work authentically, and that I don't always have the answers, and that I know that I don't always have the answers. I've got no problem in working very hard to find those answers and working hard with my clients to find those answers. But I think it is in the unknown and in the space where you realize that I don't know everything, but I can find out and I can learn. That is where real learning takes place.